Hi guys, today you are going to be comparing 3-digit numbers. So the numbers that I want you to focus on today are going to be 342 and 248. Now when you get two numbers like these, you have two options. You can either write out your digits. So remember, a digit is just a what? Just a number. So you could write out your digits: 342, 248. And then you can build your numbers on the side. So for example, 342 would look something like and then 248 would look something like so if you built your numbers, you should have had something similar to this. So you have 300, 1, 2, 3, 100, 200, 300. Then you have 4 groups of 10. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 groups of 10, but now I'm counting the value: 10, 20, 30, 40. And 2 units, or 2 ones, 1, 2. Then you should have had 2 groups of 100, 100, 200. And then 4 groups of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you skip count, that's 10, 20, 30, 40. Remember, that value is very important. And then 8 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Please don't forget, when you are doing your ones or your tens, you need to put your groups or your units in groups of 5 so that you can subitize and be able to skip count easily. Alright, so I have mine drawn out here. You should have it built on the side with your base 10 blocks. You should have it on your mat, so the blue mats that are at the front of the class with the hundreds, tens, and ones charts. Either way, I do need you to build it with the actual base 10 blocks. If you want to draw the base 10 blocks as well, that's fine, but I need to see you first building the base 10 blocks on the side. Okay? Alright, so 342, 248. Well, what about it? When we compare, comparing means that you are going to see what is different, just like we do in science. So you have comparing means that you are looking, and I'm just going to draw a quick picture, looking to see how they are different. And the way you do that is by writing a relationship. We're going to be talking about what that relationship looks like down here. Okay, so step 1 is going to be to write your digits in the correct place value, and then make sure that you build your number on the side. You can also draw the base 10 blocks below the numbers. Okay, now I'm ready to put these two numbers, 342 and 248, on my number line. Remember, my open number line means that I can put these numbers anywhere between here. Because I'm starting with a 248 or 300 and 342, I want you to look at that place value in the hundreds. When you compare a number, you compare starting from the largest place value. And the reason why is because you're trying to see who is bigger, who is smaller, and vice versa. Okay? So if, let's say for example, we have thousands here, which eventually we will, then you would look first at the thousands place, but we don't have that right now. Right now our biggest or largest place value is the hundreds place, which means that's where you're going to look first. Well, this makes it easy for me because I know where I'm starting my number line. I'm going to start with the 200. And I know my other number is what? 342. Can I end my number line in 300? No, I can't. I need to end it a little bit past the 300. And there's Nagini. Go over there. All right, so I'm going to say, let's say 400. Let's make that 400. So now you have 200, 400. Hundreds, tens, and ones. Hundreds, tens, and ones. What's changing? The hundreds place? Good. So if this is 200 and this is 400, oh sweet. My midpoint is going to be 300. Nagini, scoop back. Thank you. All right, now I'm ready to place 342 and 248 on my number line. So I'm going to start with the first number that I wrote, 342. 342 is going to be somewhere between 300 and 400. How do I know this? If you look at the place value, remember you're going to start looking in the hundreds place first. If they are different, the two digits that are in the hundreds place value, if they're different, that's where you're going to compare. So I know that 342 is going to go somewhere here because my hundreds place is a 3. And my hundreds place here is also a 3, so a 300. So 342 would be somewhere about here. I'm going to circle it just so that I know which one is the number that I am focusing on. And then my other number is 248. Well, 248, I see a 200 right here and a 300 right here. That means my 248 will be somewhere in between 200 and 300. Remember, between is anywhere. If I say the two numbers, so 200 and 300, it's going to be anywhere between this number and this number. Anything inside right here. She really likes to be petted, by the way. All right, so you have 248. That's going to be somewhere about here. And then circle it so that you know what number you're going to focus on. All right, Nagini, say hello, and then you need to leave, please. Thank you. Okay. Sorry about that. Now I'm ready to talk about relationships. When I'm talking about relationships, I'm talking about what number is greater than. Remember, when we did our mini lesson, we talked about greater than means that the whatever number we're looking at is going to be bigger, larger than the number over here. So you get 2 dots for the number that is bigger and 1 dot for the number that is smaller. And if you need to write that down here, then do that please so that you get reminded. Less than is the opposite. The lesser number, the smaller teeny tiny number is going to go first and the bigger number goes last. So what that looks like as your symbol is your 2 dots. Guess what? Your 2 dots are still going to that bigger number. Whatever your bigger number is, that's where it's going to go, the 2 dots. Okay? So your symbols, yes, they look different, but the relationship is still the same. And this is why number lines are so important. When you put your 2 numbers that you're focusing on, 342 and 248, then you can see immediately what is the relationship, because I remember that number lines go in order from left to right, which means they increase going this way. So going this way, they are increasing. I write, you write. But going this way, they are decreasing. And I'm not going to write decreasing right now just because of space. Okay? Alright, well, I already know that 248 is less than, do you notice that right here? Less than 342. This number is way smaller than this number. I'm going to write my dot right there because I know that one's my smaller number. And 342, I know that's my bigger number. So then my relationship, all I mean when I say relationship is how are you going to describe the connection between these 2 numbers. Okay? So we're going to start with the first one. Blank is greater than blank. Please repeat it. Blank is greater than blank. What number is greater? If I look at my number line, I know 248 is smaller. 342 is bigger. Greater means bigger. So 342 goes here. Another way that you can tell is by looking at the hundreds place in your place value chart, guys. That's the other important reason that you have your place value chart. I'm coloring this in so you can see the difference. Who is bigger? 300. What's smaller? 200. That's another way to tell my relationship. So you can look at place value charts and you can look at number lines. You can look at both. Okay? Which number is less? Blank is less than blank. Blank is less than blank. Repeat it. Blank is less than blank. Okay, let's look at the place value chart first. That's one way to look at. I'm still looking at my hundreds place because that's where they're different. Okay, so 300, 200. Which one's smaller? 200. That's my one dot. 300 is 2 dots. I know I keep doing dots. These dots are important. It's to help you remember. Eventually, we're not going to be doing dots to help you remember. Eventually, we're going to be comparing and ordering 3 numbers. So this is not going to work. For now, just so that you get the gist of it, just know that this means bigger, this means smaller. Okay, blank is less than blank. I know 200 is less than 300. And if I look on my number line, it makes sense. 248 is less than 342 because it comes before 342. If it comes before, that means it's less. So you have 248 is less than 342. Is 342 still bigger in this sentence? Yeah, it's still bigger. Is 248 still smaller in this sentence? Yes. What about here? Yes. So the relationship is the same. It just, we wrote it in a different way. Because when you guys get your test, you're going to see this one or you're going to see this one. You have to know how to write both relationships. So this is how you compare 3-digit numbers. Okay? I write, you write. Please make sure that you have all of your notes comparing 3-digit numbers, and then label it. Your first thing that you do is your place value chart. The second thing that you do is your number line. The third thing that you do is your relationship. Okay, guys. We're going to go ahead and switch. When you're done with this video, please make sure that you've copied all your notes. And if I'm still working with my other group, then I need you to finish whatever partner practice 1 or partner practice 2, whichever one you're not done with.